Alright, in today's video we're going to be going over the Carolina cucumber versus the Burpless Supreme cucumber. So on the right over here we have the Carolina cucumber, which this is our third year growing it, so third season from the same pack of seeds. And on the left, this is our first year growing it, is the Supreme cucumber. Before we get to these two cucumbers, my wife and I have grown probably at least a half dozen varieties, if not more, different cucumbers over the years. And so far, these two have been the favorites and probably the ones we're going to be keeping. I really don't see trying anything new, as these have been the best overall cucumbers we've grown. So let's start with the Carolina cucumber. So the Carolina cucumber, these are both hybrids, but the Carolina cucumber is a hybrid. It was developed by Clemson University, South Carolina, probably where it got its name from, Carolina cucumber. It is classified as a pickling cucumber, but what is interesting is my wife actually prefers to eat that one like fresh, like cut it up and stuff. I'm not the biggest cucumber fan, but she likes cucumbers. She says it has kind of like has a good flavor to it, just a good taste, good for salads, fresh eating, whatever. And you can also obviously pickle it. It is technically a pickling cucumber, but it actually works really well as just a regular fresh eating cucumber. It's very disease resistant. It's known as one of the most disease resistant varieties actually there is. Now, the website that I purchased this from, I will put a link in the description of the video to the website. But if you scroll down to description of the Carolina cucumber, if you go to the tab to the right hand side, there's going to be a disease resistance tab you can click on, and it gives you all the different diseases that it's resistant to, but it describes what those diseases are and the issues that they cause. So a very highly disease resistant cucumber. I actually have an example here. This is kind of how they grow. They're a shorter cucumber, kind of wide. They don't really grow long. They'll just get fatter and fatter. So if you like big pickle slices, you can make some really big slices. Or if you like big wedges, kind of short but thick. It's a really good cucumber. Very productive, disease resistance, no issues. Now, being that it is a hybrid, you're not going to be able to save your seeds. If you save your seeds, what you'll end up with is, it could be very similar. It could be different, but you're definitely going to lose those disease resistance benefits. So if hybrids, you're just going to have to purchase new seeds. But like I said, that's our third year using the same seed pack. We'll get some seeds next year because I'm thinking we're pretty much out. But buy a pack of seeds, and it seemed to last for at least 3 years. So the Burpless Supreme cucumber here to our left, this is our first year growing it, but my wife really likes it. Now, it is more categorized as a slicing cucumber. What's interesting is she actually likes to pickle these more than the Carolina cucumber. She says they're a little more, they seem to maintain their crunch a little bit better, maybe higher density. It is also a hybrid, has some disease resistance to them, highly productive. This is not the best example because she recently made some pickles, but they will grow nice and long and straight. This one was just up underneath the plant and they kind of got bent, especially because I grew them on the ground. They're not on a trellis, but these definitely have a darker color to them than the Carolina cucumber, which is more pale. This is one of the most popular varieties actually grown for commercial gardening, not commercial gardening, but commercial farming, is the Burpless Supreme cucumber. Actually, I found out about growing this variety from a different channel I watched, Lazy Dog Farm, guy down in Georgia, and he said pretty much this is a variety that most of the commercial farmers where he lives actually grow. I'll leave a description, in the video as well for where I purchased those, which is from a different company where I got those seeds from. So we've kind of covered them. These are both great cucumbers to grow. You can use both for pickling or both for fresh eating. Highly disease resistance. They tolerate the heat well. Neither one of them seems to get bitter. I don't know if you've ever experienced that of growing cucumbers, where you can get a cucumber, it ends up this like very bitter flavor. I've never seen it have an issue with the Carolina cucumber. And the Burpless Supreme cucumber is actually bred to prevent that from happening. So a few tips for when growing cucumbers. So these are both transplanted in, but cucumbers actually do very well with just seeds directly in the ground. If you do transplants, which can sometimes give you speed you up maybe just a little bit, if you do transplants, make sure you keep them watered, especially if it gets hot. I have found that cucumber transplant seedlings, they will show some serious signs of stress if it gets really hot and they're not getting enough water. But they do very well with just seeds directly in the ground. And it's probably actually the more preferred way to actually grow cucumbers. Keep them watered. I prefer to water more deeply and less often than constant watering, so they can develop deeper roots. I fertilize organically every other week. They do like full sun, but they can definitely deal with some part shade, especially some afternoon part shade. And your plants will probably actually look maybe a little bit better, as they won't be experiencing that intense heat from the sun. But very easy to grow. We've never really had an issue with cucumbers, other than a few varieties we've grown in the past that get really bitter. These have never had that issue. They're very productive. The plants do well. They produce good cucumbers. And yeah, so I definitely recommend giving these a try. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment. But until next time, I hope y'all have a good day.